Hello, in this video I'm gonna shoot all my Glock 17s from Generation 1 to Generation 4. If you want to see the details inside the pistol, there's already a video on my channel. Here we have the 4 pistols. Glock 17 Generation 1, Generation 2, Generation 3 and Generation 4. Before I go to the range, I will show you one more time how to load and unload a Glock. I have already a magazine with some rounds in it. Pull the slide back. The round is now in the chamber. To unload the gun, release the magazine. Hold the gun like this, thumb on the slide catch, pull back the slide with your left hand, and the round will fall out and the gun is now safe again. Let the slide forward, pull the trigger. To put the round back in the magazine, push the round inside down with your thumb and put in the round from the front and push it back. So now let's go to the range. Let's start with the Glock 17 Generation 1. There are 10 rounds in the magazine. The function of every Glock is the same from Generation 1 to Generation 4. If you pull the trigger, the Glock will shoot. If you don't pull the trigger, it won't shoot. This is the target after 10 rounds with the Glock 17 Generation 1. Next, Glock 17 Generation 2, also 10 rounds. Here the target after 10 rounds, Glock 17 Generation 2. For Generation 3 and 4 I will take a new target. Here we have the Glock Generation 3. It was my first pistol. Also 10 rounds. I've shot a lot with this gun, so you will see on the target Here the target is my Glock 17 Generation 3. And now Generation 4. Also 10 rounds. Here the target was the Glock 17 Generation 4. Here in slow motion, Generation 1. Generation 2. Generation 3. And Generation 4. So here we are after the range. I hope you could see it in the video. I think, or I felt, that there is a big step between Generation 2 and Generation 3 on the Glock pistol. Generation 1 and Generation 2 are equal, and I think Generation 3 made a big step. I don't know exactly why, but when you shoot these pistols, it felt like less recoil on Generation 3. And there is also a step, it isn't such a big step as between Generation 2 and Generation 3, but there is a difference between Generation 3 and Generation 4. There is less recoil on the Glock 17 Generation 4 than on the Glock 17 Generation 3. So if you want to buy a Glock and you don't know exactly which one or which generation, so you have to decide between the different calibers. And for me, the best Glock yet is the Glock Generation 4. My personal favorite is the Glock 21 Generation 4 in 45 ACP. But the caliber is another decision which is hard to make. If you have to choose just between the generation, it depends on the price you want to pay, because Generation 3 will be a lot cheaper when you buy it used. And I think there won't be problems with a used Glock. I have bought some of them and I didn't have a problem yet with any Glock. So if you have the money and you want a new Glock, then I would recommend the Glock 17 Generation 4 or a Glock in Generation 4. Doesn't matter if 17 or 22 or 21. So of course it will be a very hard decision which you have to make at your own. So I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye bye.